So today's lesson on obedience goes like this, and it has to do with envy. So there's a YouTuber that I disagree with. He's a Christian YouTuber, and I feel his message is not the message that Christians should be listening to. But I'm not going to go into that because this is more so a lesson on obedience. I'm just talking about it so you guys can see how disobeying can lead you down a path of sinning and, craziness, a place that you don't want to be in as a Christian, as a Catholic. And, when I say Christian, I mean everyone, Catholics, Protestants, everyone, that is a disciple of Christ, a true disciple of Christ that really wants to walk with Christ, not just Christian by name. So it's very difficult, despite what some people may tell you. This YouTuber is a perfect example. He tries to make it easy. It's not easy, because you have to really be aligned with the teachings of Christ. So, and obedience is important. Obedience is important. It's very important. So I know that this YouTuber triggers things inside me. For one, he has a huge following and he's extremely popular. So it triggers envy, number one. Well, number one, it triggers me a little bit of anger because I see what he's preaching and I don't agree with it. So it triggers, I get upset, I get upset when I see that, because I've developed such a close bond with Christ since I've been young. I have a spirit of discernment. And so when I see things that go against what the Holy Spirit has been teaching me and what the Bible teaches me and what my relationship with God has taught me, then yeah, it upsets me. So God told me, don't watch his videos. So, and for you, it could be don't watch, provocative women on Instagram or whatever it may be. So my instruction was to not watch his videos. And God tested me to see if I've learned this lesson. He popped up on my feed randomly yesterday. So I could have easily just said not interested or ignored it, or just, said whatever, report it, I just don't like it type stuff. And I didn't do that. I clicked on the video, and again, he was preaching a false gospel, and it upset me. And so then I started watching other videos of his, and that started disobedience. God told me to not do that, right? And then it started to cloud my brain, and then I started to get really envious because he has such a huge support group, such a huge following. And when you see in comparison to me, I have very little support. When you look at my YouTube channel, sure, I've reached 1 million views. Sure, I have 7,000 subscribers, but the engagement is just not there. And I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know, I'm too intimidating. I don't know what it is. Maybe my content, well, the views are there, so obviously people like it, but for whatever reason, they're not engaging. And so then envy creeps in. I'm like, look at this guy, man. He's got so much love on his YouTube channel. And so then the spirit of envy was already in me, right? And the spirit of anger had touched a little bit too. And so then my dog starts barking outside. And he does that regularly, but for whatever reason, today it seemed like he was doing it even more so. So I got upset. And I went out there and I scolded him. And I told him, you don't bark unless there's danger. And so everything started to annoy me. And I told my wife, then I took it out on my wife. I told her, so this is what happens with my dog when I'm gone. Like, I'm gone for 5 months and all his training is out the door, I started telling her how to take care of it when it happens, and I went out there and I took care of it. I was out there with him for 30 minutes. Every time he would bark, I tell him, no, it's not appropriate. And then I trainer taught me, I would take his attention away from the barking and started playing with him and him playing with my other dog, my French bulldog, and so it was good. Then I came back in, and the first thing that was on my feed was this guy's video. So again, I clicked on it, and then the dog started barking again, and it was just a vicious cycle. And I started to lash out at my family, including my mom, and telling them like, this is why I don't want to be here. You know, things like, this is a madhouse, you know, like dogs barking. You know, I won't say the things that I accuse my wife and my mom of being guilty of. I think that should be private, but their faults I was highlighting, and that's not Christ-like either. But that's what the devil does. You know what I mean? He makes you point fingers. He makes you look at other people instead of looking inward. Christ wants us to look inward, right? And it was bad. It was like the whole night, you know, I was like just unleashing my wrath, well, the devil's wrath, right? So I think that's why God brought me back here, is to see if I've learned my lessons. And it's been where I don't learn my lesson, but then the next day I do this, you know, like I reflect and I grow. And right now God is telling me to and the reason I'm upset too is because I'm not doing right now what God's telling me to do. There's business that I have to take care of that means leaving my wife and my mom and my dogs and my cats again. But it's business. I have to take care of business, so I have to not leave the country, but I have to go to a different part of Spain and take care of business. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because I'm here to get my wife on a good regimented workout routine, and it's been difficult, you know, but that's personal, so I won't get into that. And certain things with my mom that I want her to do certain ways for her own benefit and her health. And then also my dogs, as for example, they need to be well trained and all that. So I feel like I need to be here, but God is telling me, no, you have to go and take care of business because this is where you need to be. And then every time I listen, beautiful things happen. So, and right now I'm not listening. I'm not going. I'm here trying to organize everything and, you know, micromanage things. And that's not good. I should just pack up and go. And the sooner I do that, the sooner I'll be walking in my purpose and getting things done. And I'll be able to connect more with God, because right now I am not listening clearly to his voice. I get my brain is clouded right now with all the stuff that's happening around me. And I'm wasting time on social media consuming because I know that I should be doing other things and I'm not doing them. So that's the problem when you do that, you know. So when you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, what God's telling you to do, and you're not being obedient, you waste time. You waste time, and you do so mostly nowadays in today's day and age, doom scrolling, you know. So I do create sometimes, but I have been doom scrolling, and it's mostly because I know that I have to do something. So once I do that, or once I go to where God's telling me to go, and I take care of that, this is a huge thing, then I'll be more relaxed, and, you know, I'll be able to be with my family. So the thing is that it's never ending, guys. It's never ending. And if you truly want to walk with Christ, you truly want to walk in your purpose, you have to be obedient. Hopefully that made sense to you. This is just a little example of how God's working in my life, and an example of how being disobedient can steer you down the wrong path, can bring back demons that God had helped you conquer and get over. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned something. If not, sorry, I'm trying to get better at this, but leave some comments in there if you have any questions, any feedback.